How did we all go with our lessons for the week?
Don't really know.
You don't know? Actually, I'm a bit the same.
Yeah. Well, I'll start with my one. So there were two parts to it. The Holy Spirit teaches you to use your body only to reach your brothers so he can teach his message through you. And health is the result of relinquishing all attempts to use the body lovelessly. Don't know. The mere fact that Swabby had to go and sleep in the other room last night because I was coughing so much maybe means that I didn't do anything toward mine this last week.
Wow. Did you start the cleaning contract this week or last week? Are there some chemicals in there that are going to annoy you?
Oh no, I'm in the office.
Okay.
Mm.
Hmm.
I think it's just the barometer reading is quite high. So I think once that starts to drop, it'll be a bit different because there's a few people around who have got, like hay fever type symptoms and what have you. So I think once that drops a bit, it'll be much better.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Anybody else want to share how they went? You look like you're ready, Joe. Okay.
Um, so I did the Holy Spirit's voice is as loud as your willingness to listen. And essentially I started to listen. I stopped doing a lot of things over this past week.
Mm.
Stepping away from a few things and just following that voice, seeing where I'm meant to be and what I'm meant to be doing.
Mhm.
So we'll see what happens.
Mm. Interesting. How about you, Coralie?
Yeah, I did the same one as Joe, but I don't no, I didn't step away from anything. Things sort of, to miraculously. Yeah, I did that thing more of just sort of thinking, oh, that's nice. It's a good idea.
And I had the same as well. And I'm undecided how I went. And I did make a journal note at some stage where it's like, well, am I listening to the Holy Spirit's voice when I thought I needed to do more meditation. And then I thought, well, I am still, I meditate when I'm with my family, my horse and my cats, or in nature. So that's there. But I had a very interesting week where our Chamber of Commerce has imploded.
Oh, has it? Oh,
What does that mean?
Because this toxic guy wanted to come back in. And some people thought, oh, it'll be okay. And the very next morning, there's these just rancid emails going around. And I was severely misquoted on something, and the president quit over it.
oh God.
Well, there's no other leaders in there, and I'm only sticking around for him, so I quit too. And then the secretary quit, so now there's no quorum, and it's just an email from the toxic guy saying, "Well, I'll be the leader then." It's like, oh, good luck to
Oh,
you. So, but with Joe, you saying stepping away from a few things, so I do feel like I've stepped away from that. So, at the same time, like there's some things I do want to complete. I don't really want to leave them in a lurch if it actually ends up continuing. But that was a big thing. And yes, I did step away and feel good about it, really. Just have to watch out for these toxic people, don't you? But the thing is, they're
exactly.
just so unpredictable. I don't know what will happen. And it's a small town, so even though there's been no announcement, everybody knows.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
And I think with
Mm.
small towns too, now living in a small town, people just they try to treat people how they want to be treated, but you do get those odd ones who are toxic, and you just have to say to them, I'm sorry, but we can't deal with you. You need to
Yeah.
leave.
Mm. Yeah.
Oh, I
Interesting.
feel in small town. Y'all are toxic. I need to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think with the majority of people, though, you know, I'm talking 99.98% of the people are, you know, fantastic, and everybody wants to work together, and there's just so much love in the community. When you do get that, you know, 0.02% who cause problems, then the rest of that percentage needs to push those ones away. That's where it's coming from. You know, you can't have that sort of crap going on in such a small community.
Yeah.
So for everybody else to walk away from that doesn't work in my mind. You need to get rid of those people.
Mm.
It sort of can though, because if everyone else walks away, then they've got no one to bully or anything, and they sort of self-select and disappear.
Yeah. And
Well,
karma's
that's,
play
yeah.
a part. Hi, Gary.
Hey,
Hi,
sorry I'm
Gary.
late. Hi. I had
Yes.
to eat something before I got on, or I was going to fall over. So,
Yes,
how
we're
is
joking
everyone
about
tonight?
we change our time zones for you.
Okay. It's so ridiculous in America. Why do we do this? I have no idea.
It's all right.
Same
We'll do
here.
it on the 6th of April. So
Oh, you guys have it on the 6th of April?
yeah, I mean
Changes.
we don't, not in Western Australia, but Linda and Coralie will on the same day. New
Oh,
Zealand and Australia change on the same day.
but only half of Australia changes.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah, not for Carly, because Queensland doesn't have daylight saving.
She's in New
Who
South
makes
Wales. She's in Newcastle.
decisions and why are they being made? What
So,
purpose
and
do they have?
there's people who live on the border of New South Wales and Queensland who go to work in the other state. So they have to allow for the time zone change.
Yeah, you're
Going
right.
across
Sorry.
the
Yeah.
border.
Well, I thought that.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's right north of Byron Bay, and what's that big gambling city they
Gold
have right?
Coast. The Gold
What?
Coast. The Gold
The Gold
Coast?
Coast. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So weird.
Yes. I don't think I want to rehash my story for Gary. So we'll just move on, shall
No,
we?
let's just
Okay.
move on.
So, but how did you go with your lesson for the week, Gary?
Well, I still stuck with the do not allow yourself to suffer from imagined results of what is not true. I just keep coming back to that one because I don't know how many of you worry or how many of you like can go off on a tangent or how many of you can do that. Please tell me someone else.
Used to. I'm getting
So
better.
I'm like, yeah, so I think that really serves me. And then the other one that really serves me is if you use your body for any attack, it is harmful for you. Those two ones are super useful to me.
Now, I
So
want to write down, I haven't written down, and I haven't actually found it in the book. So can you repeat for me? Do not allow yourself.
do not allow yourself to suffer from imagining results of what is not true.
Yeah. It's basically don't worry, but I just love how it makes you think about it a bit more.
Yep.
Lovely. Well, then we can make a quick start and get into the reading.
We can.
Kindle's open.
Just have to make this one addition to my calendar real quick.
You're multitasking, Gary.
I am totally multitasking. That's all I do. I got all these people always texting me and wanting stuff.
So
Okay.
we are almost finished this section, which is this is the body as means or end. We've almost finished it. Gary, did you want to read number 9, or shall I read while you're
Nope.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Just
cool.
finished.
We've read
Okay.
that one.
Say
We've read
again?
number 8.
Read number
Completed. No,
9.
you're right. You're right. We did.
Because that's
Yeah,
where
good
my
job.
last week's
Yeah.
lessons came from.
I'll move it up again.
Okay.
'Cause we're on this section. There we go.
Healing as corrected perception. Okay, here we go. Number 1. I said that the Holy Spirit is the answer. He is the answer to everything because he knows what the answer to everything is. The ego does not know what a real question is, although it asks an endless number. Yet you can learn this as you learn to question the value of the ego and thus establish your ability to evaluate its questions. When the ego tempts you to sickness, do not ask the Holy Spirit to heal the body, for this would merely be to accept the ego's belief that the body is the proper aim of healing. Ask rather that the Holy Spirit teach you the right perception of the body, for perfection alone can be distorted. Oh, I'm sorry, but perception alone can be distorted. Only perception can be sick because only perception can be wrong.
A lot of perceptions in there, isn't there?
Quite a few, but I like it.
Mm.
Apologies for my phone. It is on silent, but it still wants to get in touch with me.
Hmm.
Sorry, I was responding to Julie.
I really do like that last line. Ask the Holy Spirit to teach you the right perception of the body, for perception alone can be distorted. Only perception can be sick because only perception can be wrong.
Hmm.
It'll be good to remember.
Yeah. Let's see.
It's pretty straightforward, I guess, is it?
Yeah, it is.
I'm just making some notes though. So perception is still useful though, Dan?
It is.
I'm bouncing between the ask the Holy Spirit to teach you the right perception and the last sentence, only perception can be sick because only perception can be wrong. So what's the right perception?
Well, the sentence before that is the Holy Spirit teaches you the right perception for the body. For perception alone can be distorted.
But what's the right perception? If perception can be wrong, what is the right one? Is that just to remain in love? Not to judge?
I guess that's kind of like what we were, like our lesson from last week, which 3 of us had. The Holy Spirit's voice is as loud as you're willing to listen. So it's a matter of whether we're listening to the Holy Spirit to get the right perception. Otherwise, our perception is not useful. Maybe.
No,
Yeah,
a lot of
because
stuff I did today, the ego was definitely being rude to many people.
Hmm. Yes. Hi, Julie.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Julie.
Yes.
You can
Great.
hear me.
Yes.
Okay, I'm out somewhere, you see, so I'm just sick and tired of missing things.
Mm.
How is everybody?
Good.
Good.
Good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. You know, my health fine. It's very, very chaotic here. Very, very difficult. Oh, there we are. Now I'm on Zoom properly.
So Joe, I think
Yeah.
the perception
Hmm?
be that our body isn't real and
Yes.
that and that um that the way that we're perceiving is that we're separate from God. And that is the perception that is wrong.
Mm.
And when we're disconnected, we can definitely be sick.
Yeah.
I think every imbalance leads to dis-ease, and that means imbalance in how we're perceiving ourselves, the world around us, and additionally how we interface with other human beings. And that's just even in thought how we're doing that. I found myself the other day. I was I get these conversations inside my head, and as soon as I start feeling my body tensing up, I'm thinking, oh, I must be judging and condemning because my body's starting to tighten. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. And how many of you ever notice your mind just runs amok? Like all of a sudden your mind's just off on this pathway of thought, and you don't even recognize it's done it until your body starts responding to your thoughts. And then you go, this doesn't feel like I'm in peace at all. What am I thinking? What am I having? Who am I having a conversation with in my head? Tell me someone else does that, or am I just completely crackadoodle?
No, absolutely
Okay,
true.
beautiful. So that's where I think the attention has to come in. And that's why I've been using those two things. If I use my body for attack, it's harming me. If I'll do not allow myself to suffer from imagining results of what is not true, which is imagining that the world is separate, that the world's not safe, that the world and people in it are out to attack, even though they do. It isn't necessarily what I have to take in as an attack. I can look at something, this just happened actually. I can look at something from the perspective of an imbalance that person's living through. I just happen to be in the range of their projection. I don't have to take it personally. Are y'all with me?
Yeah.
Now, it's hard for me to do that because I have this thing about justice and, like that was not just, that was not right, that was unjust, and that was whatever I made up about it. And then you kind of get to the point where, okay, well, it's either my perception of it or I get to choose peace. Like, what am I going to do? And really, I think it's about choosing peace as often as we possibly can.
Mm.
So that's my thought on that.
And I think sometimes, from my story that I shared before, peace requires boundaries.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it does. And sometimes those boundaries can piss people off.
Yes.
Usually.
As Veronica said, with such knowingness in her voice.
Well, I'm going through that at the moment, and it is like a malicious email went, well, not malicious, it was like really totally misquoted, like the other person wasn't even present there at the time, and they misquoted me. But it's to a group of people, and they were all there as well, so they know it's crap. But where was I going with this? So even though someone else resigned from this committee because they saw the attack, And I was reading through it and I'm just going, what are they even saying? I don't understand. But he saw attack and it's like, oh, well, actually, maybe I should protect myself and leave as well. Because
Did
if I
you?
stayed, it would have, I don't know. I don't want to stay. It's a boundary. I'm not hanging out with those people.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
don't need to. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Hmm.
Hi, Jane.
Is Jane here? I can't see. Hey, Jane.
He's down at the bottom down there.
Yes. Who wants to read number 2?
May I?
Sure.
Please.
Wrong perception is the wish that things be as they are not. Oh, dear God. The reality of everything is totally harmless because total harmlessness is the condition of its reality. It is also the condition of your awareness of its reality. You do not have to seek reality. It will seek you and find you when you meet its conditions. I like that. Its conditions are part of what it is, and this part only is up to you. The rest of it, the rest is of itself. You need do so little because your little part is so powerful that it will bring the whole to you. Accept then your little part and let the whole be yours. Was she drunk when she wrote this down? Honestly, that's just a lot of little words in there that all just collide together.
I just felt like I was in the Matrix and I, just took the red pill,
I'm glad it's not just me then.
No, 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 no. It's not. I mean, I love the premise of what it's saying, but I don't quite get it yet. So why don't we take it line by line? Because that seems how we always do it best.
Mhm.
You want to read the first line again, Linda?
Wrong perception is the wish that things be as they are not.
Okay.
So is that making things up? Is that our own story that we make up?
Wrong perception is the wish that things be as they are not.
Mhm.
You kind of need a context around it.
Well, isn't it just wishing that things were different?
That's how I took
I
it.
think you're absolutely right, Jane. I think it
Yeah.
is that. Joe, did you want to make a
Mhm.
comment on that?
I was just saying that's how I took it as Jane stated.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think it's deeper than just wishing, though. I think it's actually seeing it and believing it that it
As we
is
go
different.
further, yeah. As we go further, yeah, it totally opens up in my mind, anyways.
Yeah.
Jane, can you say what you said again, please?
Wishing that the situation that you're in, your perception, you wish that things were different from what the perception is.
Got it. Kind of goes back to Byron Katie's work, Loving What Is. It's like whatever is
Exactly.
occurring
Yes.
is the perfection of how the great matrix of cause and effect has laid out the issues to be exactly what they are.
And understanding that even in the hideousness of a situation that we deem as ugly or unfortunate or whatever, there's something in it for us.
Well,
Even
I think if we're experiencing it, then we've had a part in co-creating it. Like if it's in our field, we have had a part in
Exactly.
co-creating it. This is why all
Right.
the things that are happening right now in the world each one of us would not have incarnated at this point in time, at this junction in time and space, on this little blue orb in a sea of little orbs, trillions upon trillions of planets and cultures and races and people. We're here experiencing what we're experiencing. That cannot be by happenstance.
Mm.
So there's something here during this particular point in history that we all need to learn. And maybe it's how do we not judge and condemn all the changes that are going around us? And what if we could call it perfect in understanding that we're all having some benefit or some lesson or some wisdom that's going to be generated from it all.
Mhm.
Now, if that's true, I can hang with Trump then. You know?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Exactly. I'm thinking of Trump. It's like, oh, what?
I know. But, there as we go on, the whole issue still is that there's massive change, and that is moving towards some eventuation, which it will eventually land. And then people will either come out of the illusion, including myself. I could be hallucinating it all. My own perception of what I think is great may be completely screwy, and I'm happy for that eventuation to happen. I'm doing my best to just be in peace as all the change happens and stop judging, stop condemning the change makers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go to the next line. Linda, you want to read it again?
The reality of everything is totally harmless because total harmlessness is the condition of its reality.
Everything is totally harmless. Harmlessness is a condition of its reality.
Very
I took
secular.
I took that as reality is nothing until you give it an energy, as in you create it in the mind.
Mm.
So I still see all of this as it's our perception. So it's the story that we build in behind that to
Yeah.
protect ourselves or make us feel, be victims so that other people are more,
Mm.
nicer to us or whatever. I still see that as it being our own story, our own perception. We're creating a reality around that when it's not actually what it is.
Well, the second line kind of states that it is the condition of your awareness of its reality.
Mm.
Mm.
We are in a time of being aware of a lot of negative stuff.
Definitely.
We
Or how
just,
about we're aware of a lot of stuff,
yeah.
Mm.
so we don't evaluate it or judge it. But there are big changes afoot. That is for sure.
Mm.
Where are we
Huh.
up to
Well, the
now?
next line kind of does it.
Mm.
It says, you do not have to seek reality. It will seek you and find you when you meet its conditions. Its conditions are part of what it is, and this part only is up to you.
Mm.
We're making the choice of what reality means to us.
And then the rest is of itself.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting it now. Linda, you want to read the rest of it, and we'll
Sure.
conclude.
You need do so little because your little part is so powerful that it will bring the whole to you. That's really cool. I like that too. Accept then your little part and let the whole be yours. I have underlined that whole paragraph. It's very cool, isn't it?
It started with confusion, but now we have clarity.
Always the sentence by sentence gets us there. Because when you first read it, I thought it was all word salad, you know.
I know all I could think of was that Helen Schuckman she was channeling and she was being, the automatic writing was happening, but that there was something was askew. Even she wasn't she was absolutely being fed. She was a vessel.
Yeah.
You know, that's what it felt like.
It kind of felt like God was drunk when he came through her at that moment in time for this paragraph. I'm sure that's not true.
I understood it.
But that one line, you need to do so little because your little part is so powerful, it will bring the whole to you.
I like that.
Mm.
And quite honestly, if we understood each paragraph, we wouldn't be here doing this, would we?
Nope.
So you know, when I read, sorry, what was that, Coralie?
We might want to hang out.
We definitely want to hang out.
Absolutely.
But sorry, I interrupted you. Carry on.
No, you're all good.
I have a feeling we'd still be together, just probably not on Zoom. We'd just still be connected.
Yeah.
I always think that I have to be the worst student in the group because I've been through this so many times, read the course probably 6 times through, and I'm like, huh? Like, I just don't get it sometimes. As I have to
So
the
you think it
thickest
shows
one here.
how can you hear me? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah, you can. It's like your whole perception is so hard to gauge. You know, your perception varies daily, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so we bring lots more towards us because we misread it or something, you know, or don't accept the that we're actually,
Well, Gary,
you know, only have to play a small part, not take everything on.
Gary, you still provide a lot of guidance for us who haven't read it through at all. So you're not the
Sometimes.
worst.
Sometimes.
I'm going to move that up a little bit. Are we done with number 2 then? We happy with that?
Yep.
No?
Yep.
Still pondering?
No.
Who? Huh? What?
Then still pondering, or are you just making notes?
No, I'm all good. Yep. No, I'm very happy with that, actually. I think it's a really great paragraph.
It is a great paragraph. It's funny how we all got real foggy on it and how much value we got out of it.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Who wants to read number 3?
I vote for Joey.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Wholeness heals because it is of the mind. All forms of sickness, even unto death, are physical expressions of fear, of awakening. They are attempts to reinforce sleeping out of fear of waking. This is a pathetic way of trying not to see by rendering the faculties for seeing ineffectual.
Yes.
Mhm.
Rest and peace is a blessing for the living, not the dead, because rest comes from waking, not from sleeping. Sleeping is withdrawing. Waking is joining. Dreams are illusions of joining because they reflect the ego's distorted notions about what joining is. Yet the Holy Spirit, too, has use for sleep and can use dreams on behalf of waking if you will let him.
Wow. Another great paragraph. Interesting to see the word pathetic in there.
Is that
I
Yeah,
don't know.
that was a harsh word.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen that in there before, have we?
Mm-mm.
Is that sort of lucid dream on behalf
What
of
was that, Julie?
waking?
What did you ask?
Is that lucid dreaming? Is that lucid dreaming?
I don't.
Can you hear me? Not very well.
I don't think. I don't think it is. But what
Could
does
have
other
been.
people think?
Mm. Fine. I can't hear you.
Wow. You know, that one line is so powerful at the very beginning where it says, all forms of sickness, even unto death, are physical expressions of the fear of awakening.
Mm.
Can I just speak to that for just a moment?
Sure.
Uh, I don't know what I want to say about it, but I know that there's something on the tip of my tongue. I remember once in meditation a long, 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 long time ago when I was married to my wife Diana, and I was a new disciple on the path of Shirachaba Yoga. I wasn't initiated, and I was going to bed that night, and I heard one of the celestial sounds. I don't know how. I was just laying in bed, and my soul started to leave my body. I mean, it started to like literally leave. And I remember being stricken with fear, feeling like, oh my God, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna die, and I don't know how to get back in my body, and feeling like just this massive amount of fear of leaving my physical form, which would have awakened me completely. I would have gone like, oh my God, what a dream this is. But I wouldn't allow myself to do it. And I tried to move my body because you get frozen. I tried to move my body. I tried to move. Finally, I could move my body and bring my consciousness back into my body. But when I think about that, and I think, so many of us want to, we have the thought in our minds that we want to ascend, we want God realization, we want to wake ourselves up, we want to have this spiritual experience. But what this says to me is that yes, but that means sort of I won't say the death of the ego, but it means you have to give up what you are so desperately attached to, which is our physical form, our personalities. So although we are doing our best to wake ourselves up, there's a junction in that awakening where we have to make a choice that we take the ascension, and we're more attached to that than we are to our physical experience of our identities and being in the body. I know I've experienced that one particular fear. So when I read that, I was like, yeah, I kind of get that. Anyways, I just wanted to state
Yeah.
that because I do think we all have, well, I'll speak for myself. I have a fear of truly awakening.
Mm. Interesting.
And then it says they are attempts to reinforce sleeping out of fear of waking. I oftentimes think, all of us, God, there we go again. Okay, so myself, I know that there's times that I feel like if I really, really spent like on the weekends 4 to 6 hours a day meditating, which I say that's what I want to do when I get, old and I can't work anymore. There is a fear inside of me that I will ascend and all this, I will make a wakeful choice to be done with the physical world. Because if I experience that, I'm not going to want to be here anymore. If I experience that, I won't get the same satisfaction and pleasure I get out of the world anymore. Everything will change. And I don't know if you guys have those same feelings, but as I'm reading this, let's go to the next one. This is a pathetic way of not trying to see by rendering the faculties of seeing ineffectual.
And isn't it going to be interesting when we do ascend, when we look back and think to ourselves, why did we wait so long? So there's two
Oh, for
sides
sure.
to that as well.
Right.
And
For
maybe
sure,
that's where the
for sure.
balance comes. I don't know.
I think when we die and we wake up, we look at this as if it was a dream, because in truth it is. It is something that it's a dream we have not been able to wake up from. But when we finally wake up, we realize who we've always been. Like when you wake up from a dream, you go, oh, that dream wasn't me. This is who I am. And when we wake up from death, I think it's exactly the same. Everything's a reflection of a reflection of a reflection in quantum physics. So I think we wake up from death and look back at what this life was and go, man, that dream seems so real. In a very
Yeah.
short period of time, we can't even remember it.
Right.
So
Right.
all the
I
things
agree.
that felt so challenging and so difficult for us, it's, excuse the language, it's bullshit. It's not even true. It's not even
Yeah.
real.
Yep. Yep.
I like to think that we're here to learn, though. So the learning from my perspective in this lifetime, because I do believe in previous lifetimes and future lifetimes, etc., that we're actually here to learn something. So I'm wondering for myself if that is actually how quickly in each lifetime I start my awakening. I actually start that process to the ascension of doing it earlier and earlier and earlier. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. Absolutely, it makes sense. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, this is a spiritual experience. We are here to learn, experience, and contribute back.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's part of our mission here is we get to be a light for someone who's dropped it for themselves. And then there's others who'll be a light for us when we've dropped it for ourselves. And we do this over and over and over again.
I kind of feel as well that the fear of waking is, again, that's not a bad thing, because if we wake too soon, maybe we won't get that lesson and then we have to come back and do the whole thing all over again.
Yeah. If every hair on our head is counted and every breath is counted and our destiny is fixed, at least the signposts of our destiny and fixed, how we respond to those signposts is what's up to us. That is our conditioned free will. Then all this is already set in time, and we're on this journey. But it's like, how are we going to respond to it? How much fear are we going to allow ourselves to live in, or how much surrender are we going to live our lives from? And I think the more that we surrender over to this powerful river that we're in and float along, rather than cling to the shores of our lives, that becomes a place where I think further embeds our spiritual development and further awakens us.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Boy, the next number 4 is really interesting. That
Yes.
line.
Just looking at that myself.
I know.
Are
Who'd
you
like
ready
to
for
read
number
number
4?
4? Oh yeah, it's late, but we could get through one more.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm just gonna read it.
Go, Jane.
Go for it, Jane.
Okay. How you wake is the sign of how you have used sleep. To whom did you give it? Under which teacher did you place it? Whenever you wake dispiritedly, it was not given to the Holy Spirit. Only when you awaken joyously have you utilized sleep according to His purpose. You can indeed be drugged by sleep if you have misused it on behalf of sickness. Sleep is no more a form of death than death is a form of unconsciousness. Complete unconsciousness is impossible. You can rest in peace only because you are awake. Wow.
Love that paragraph.
I'm
So can we
loving
start
this
with that? Can we start with that next time? Because that bears rereading.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic.
It feels like the Beatles song John Lennon sang, I am he as you are me, and we are all together.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Many a night, stoned on LSD, I listened to Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album. Many a
Oh,
night.
the many reincarnations of Gary, right?
Oh God, I was a wild pony.
When's the book coming out?
Oh God. Um, I'm gonna write on it this weekend.
Good. Good.
I need to get it done.
All right, I'm going to close the Kindle so we can see each other properly. Have we got our lesson for next week or for this coming week?
I do.
Yeah.
I have I relax and allow, and I'm brought to the whole of myself.
Nice.
Who's next? Corley's writing away feverishly, I see.
It's hard to pick.
It is.
Joey,
The
you
one
want to
I've
go?
highlighted, the one
Oh.
I've highlighted was you need to do little because your little part is so powerful that it brings the whole to you.
Mm.
And I've highlighted that, so that's what I'm going to work on.
Well, I'll follow that because that's exact what I'm going to work on. But the next line to that sentence was accept your little part and let the whole be yours.
Yeah. I love that.
Mm.
There we go. I don't even need to speak it.
Yep. Yep.
Great minds think
I
alike.
also love that. Mm.
Awesome.
Who else?
I'll go. You do not have to seek reality. It will seek you and find you when you meet its conditions. And I'm quite excited about that one for this week.
Nice.
Can you read that again, Lady Linda? It was really good.
You do not have to seek reality. It will seek you and find you when you meet its conditions.
Awesome.
Mm.
Very nice.
Yep.
Jules, you want to go or Corley?
Well, everyone that said something, I absolutely all hail. So my problem with making a choice, and I have to go back and listen to the rest of it because it's I'm out and I couldn't even write things down. So
No
I just
worries.
I've loved everything we've read today. Really good and really, really perfectly appropriate as it always is.
As it always is.
Yeah.
Coralie?
Okay, I'll go with the one you need do so little because your little part is so powerful that it will bring the whole to you.
Hmm. We're all on the same wavelength a lot now.
Boy,
I
we
know.
are. Yeah.
I'm gonna be
yeah.
walking around like my little part. Come.
It's
Bring
such a
the
great
whole.
section, though, isn't it? Like it's
It
It
is.
really
It
is.
really
It's
is.
sensational.
and
Ooh.
and going back over the section is going to be really difficult because every single line has been underlined in my book. Not just the highlights. Or maybe it is just the highlights.
Maybe.
Yeah. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So row your boat.
Gently down.
Just change merrily to literally. Literally is but a dream.
Life
Yeah.
is but a dream.
Yeah.
Where's
Yep.
Callie tonight, V? Did you hear from Callie?
Yeah, she said she couldn't make it. I don't know if they're suffering from the cyclone in Newcastle as well. Initially, she said, no, we're fine, but it's been a lot of flooding happening in Queensland, so it might have headed a bit south as well.
Oh, they're
Cyclone
having a
Albert.
lot of flooding.
Hmm.
Yeah, there were several people last night from the TMRT graduate group that were talking about the flooding in Queensland and New South Wales and all up and down the coast. So I guess the
Yeah.
cyclone was bad.
Yeah, it's that season.
There's more puff and wind, though, than what they made it out to be. Like, there's lots of flooding and stuff, yes, but in Queensland too, it's still monsoon season and they're used to the flooding.
Yeah.
So,
The mass panic,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
yeah, so don't always believe what you hear. That's
No.
the thing. Talk to the people who actually live there, and
Yeah.
their story is quite different.
I did actually. And he was very, very worried. He was in a caravan and he's building a couple of containers. And he was very scared that the river was going to flood.
Yeah.
And he would lose the caravan and, and maybe, yeah, anyway. But it didn't. It was just stopped being ferocious. It was just rain.
Well, I'm very jealous of you, Linda, living up in Queensland, because there is no place on the planet that grows better mangoes in the world than Queensland.
True.
But Linda's in
Nothing
South
like a
Australia now.
cold, nothing like a cold mango on a hot summer Queensland day, and just sitting at the beach eating a cold mango. It's perfection.
Mhm.
Oh, stop it. I'm going to have to go to Queensland now and get some mangoes.
That's all right. Carnarvon's mangoes are pretty good too, I'll have to say. Just up here in WA. It's our little food
Okay.
hole up there. Yeah.
I mean, Queensland mangoes are as big as a football. That's what I liked about them. Well, gang,
Sounds
I'm
like
going to head out. Thank you guys
Yeah.
so much. God bless you
Yeah,
all. Sorry
thank
for being
you.
10 minutes
Thank
late so I
you.
could put
God bless you
food in my
too.
mouth.
That's
And you
okay.
guys
We still love you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye,
Have a great
everyone.
week, everyone.
Okay.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.